guys, Uncommon Ramen here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at Epic Spellwars of the Battle Wizards, Panic at the Pleasure Palace. First and foremost, viewer discretion is advised. This is going to be gross. It is also going to be inappropriate. So yeah, keep that in mind as you continue to view. If you are still watching, that means you do not care that this is going to be the grossest and most derogatory set in the set. It is the fourth game, the most recent of the games, and they really took it over the top here. That being said, let's jump right in. So this is the cover for it, and not going to go into many details here, but let's just point out that there are some inappropriate things on the front of this cover. So, jump into the contents really quick here. So here's the rule book, and there are things I will go over really quickly here that change with this one. Some of the things that they carry over for this one is the kill tokens. So in the first two games, the way to win was to be the last wizard standing 3 times, which meant that the game could go on for several games before someone finally got their third last wizard standing token. And that really was dependent on how many people were playing at any given time. In the third game, they introduced kill tokens, which gave you points, and they shaved it down to be 3 rounds, and the person with the most points was the winner of the game. And you got a kill token for every wizard you killed, and you got a point because the last wizard standing token also counted as 1 point. So there was that as well. Creatures also made it to this set as well. And then there's a couple of new things that made it to this set. The first of those is going to be what they call MTDs, magically transmitted diseases. And I feel like I don't have to go into major discussion about this, but essentially cards will reference receiving MTDs, both by your opponent playing it or by you playing a spell that causes you to get it. And because of that, the standee itself has its own new abilities as well. Because blood didn't make it over to this set, receiving the standee makes you immune to MTDs that your opponent gives you. It does not do anything about the MTDs that you have or that you receive by your own self, but it does keep you immune from your opponent's MTDs. And then right here is a reference to some of the MTDs that have a name that I don't think have a description on the token, because the description would have taken too much time. And then we still have reactions in this one too, so if you do die midway through, there's still a chance that you might be able to at least resolve one part of your spell. And I think that's it about the new stuff. Could be wrong, but I was. The MTDs, they have their downsides, obviously. But they have also an upside. Should you continue to hang on to the MTD, so some of the MTDs will say that you have to ditch them right away. Just remove them from play right away. But some of the MTDs will stick around with you. And the MTDs themselves have glyphs. They're magically transmitted diseases, so therefore they're magic. And because of that, they have a glyph that will be added to your spell as well. And that basically means that for every spell you build, if a power roll is required and the MTD itself has the glyph that matches the power roll, then you also have a little bonus there. So it has an upside. Really quickly, I'm going to show you the sack that they gave you to hold the MTDs in. And again, I'm warning you ahead of time. If you are sensitive to this type of material, or you just don't like these inappropriate references and whatnot, please, please, please stop the video and go away. This is going to be highly inappropriate. If you're still here watching, this is the sack that you are given that holds all the MTD tokens in it. And I don't feel like I have to explain what this is, but let's just say it's not highly appropriate. Inside the MTD tokens looks something like this. On the back, it shows a description, and there's its glyph. And it just shows you all the different things. That they are. I guess I could try and go through all of these. There's 2 of each of them. There's 10 in total. So they have the horror hole, which is a dark glyph. Hepatitis Z, illusion glyph. Crotch krakens, primal. Gorgonorrhea, dark. Genital herpes, elemental. Claptrap, elemental. Hocus Poxus, arcane. Gnome nuts, arcane. Witchworts, illusion. Wand rot, primal. And then these are all of the copies of those. One thing I will mention is that if you do manage to get rid of an MTD, it does just go right back into the sack and possibly come up for somebody else or you again, should you be unfortunate enough to get it. And that is probably the most inappropriate part. I could be wrong, but I haven't looked a lot into this set, so, you know, maybe I am wrong. Hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm right, though. Let's grab... Well, here's the dice. And in this case, they keep the black and red motif, but they give you actually a 5th dice because the MTDs themselves will give you a glyph. So there's a chance that you'll be rolling far more dice. And then here we have what keeps track of your life. And then we have the kill tokens. They're basically the same thing as that you would get with the 3rd set. And then we have the last wizard standing with the 1 point denoted on the back. And then last but not least, we have the standee for this set. It goes without saying what it is in the shape of. And the standee, the part that holds the standee up basically just tells you the rules behind it. So opponents' cards can't give you MTDs. Next up is the characters, and I just realized that I still had this in its bag, so... We have Yadon, the Timeless One. The Super Juicy Plum Fairy. Mistress Chafia and her Burning Kitty. This is not her original print. If you read the rulebook, she has a different name. Her Burning Kitty does. I don't know why they changed it here, and they didn't change it in the rulebook, and I'm not sure why they changed it in the first place, because in the second set, they reference something like it just the same. But anyway, Mistress Chafia and her Burning Kitty. We have the Minstrel Furloins. Oh, his name is Minstrel Furloins, the Satyr of Sexy Song. Wando, the Living Wand. Eye of the Secret Order. Roach Sauce, Purgatory's Playboy. And Baron Bamboozler, the Bum Baron. Next up, Where are the treasures? We have our treasures. So we have Pus Popper's Pliers, Hypodermic Howitzer, Mucus Missile, Titillation Tank, the Nookie Nuke, Lady of the Lake Party, Merkin Mound, Pog of the Nazareth, Necronomicondom, the Pinnacle of Existence, Tub of Kinky Roggers, the Shit Kickers, the Cruel Wand, E.T. the Extra Testicle, Ricky Rat Hat, Vaccination Vibrator, the Cosmic Koi, Seal of President Asshole, that one's obvious, Keytar made of gold, Banger's Burner, Cock Cleaner, McRavy Highland Haggis, Seppahook's Sword, Kneecapper's Cudgel, Colonopoly. That's it. Next up is our Dead Wizards. So we're going to have Bummer from Beyond, Suicide Pact, Swan Song, Razor Burned, Necrophilia. There's no way to say that without it sounding like that. Buried, Out of Time, and Endless Wandering. So next up, we still have our Dead Wizards. I mean, not our Dead Wizards, our Wild Magics, 8 of them. And let's get right on to the sources. For sources, I have Nefertiti's, Big Boners, and you can see right off the bat, right there and there, they held nothing back this time, or at least as far as I can tell. Silky the Pimps, Heavy Iron Maiden, Fellationes, God, I'm not going to repeat that. Fingerbangers Carbuncle, Infamous Sorcerers, Incantations, Knobgoblin, the French Ticklers, Senator Owlingtons, Canned Wizard, Horny Toadsons, jeez, the Merkings, Squirrely Nut Butters. That's bad. Alright, moving on to the qualities. We got Covetlingus. And that's the card that I was referencing from the second set that had a certain name that the character shared the name with that they just didn't carry over, and I'm still not sure why. Molassy, Throbbing, Necrophagic, Prude-tastic, Skeeve, Scabbing, Bombastic, my bad, Bombastic, nitrorific, mongering, yoinked, manhandling, fumbling, grow. What is that? Grow ink e drinky. Goongantian. That is our qualities. And last but not least, our deliveries. Anal annihilation. Erotic asphyxiation. Hologram hookers. Slice and dice. Dick disease. They didn't even hold it off on that one. Serial killer. Burning sensation. Kinky Roggers roasting. Kinky Roggers. Eating the rich. I like that idea. Dildo detonation. Dildo detonation. Acid cloud. At least he's having a good trip. Pussification. They use it here. Golden shower. Huge pecker. And that's it for this particular set. And in here, you'll notice that there are actually only 3 of each type of glyph. I'm not sure why they changed it from 3 each. Or, from 4 each to 3 each. I'm wondering if it's because they wanted to make the deck a little smaller, or if it has something to do with the fact that the MTDs themselves also have glyphs on them. But that's neither here nor there. That is the final part of the epic spell wars of the Battle Wizards Panic at the Pleasure Palace. It is easily their raunchiest, where they basically just didn't hold anything back. There's some things that I think they held back, but for the most part, they went all out. And the references to sex are very obvious, and the references to drugs are very obvious. Although I would say that the melee at Murder Shroom Marsh was worse with the drug references. But I think that was kind of the purpose. Again, I don't really know why they changed her name. It was not originally the Burning Kitty. Let me find it again. In the rule book, it was Burning Pussy, and they reference that several times in one time in the second game and another time here in this game, and I'm pretty sure they probably referenced it in the third game too. So I'm not really sure why they held it off on this and that single specific card, but who knows. And that is the most recent Epic Spell Wars. I have not played this one yet. I actually personally haven't even played the third one yet, but I had to pick this one up because I wanted to see what it was like, and I'm not disappointed, but I will say that it definitely got worse, and I'm interested to see what happens if they do a 5th one, and really how far they're willing to take it. This is definitely not made for kids. Do not play this with your kids. Do not show your kids this video. This game is highly inappropriate, but it does have a lot of fun factor to it. So I really do enjoy playing the game just because of the RNG, and it's just with the right group of people and the right beverages, this game is really entertaining. That's it. If you like the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Every time you subscribe to me, it helps me basically bring you more content. I love the support. Please leave any comments or criticisms down below. I always like to see what you guys have to say. Maybe you have suggestions for future videos. I try to read them as soon as I can get to them. And I think that's it, guys. Until next time.